Following program is a presentation by Anderson Speedway. The views, opinions, and commentary are solely those of the host and Anderson Speedway and are not endorsed by Whoop Boom Radio, this station, or personnel.
It's time now for Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. Catch up with everything that's going on at Anderson Speedway with Rick Dawson and Gary Mong.
Good evening. Welcome to Track Talk. Rick Dawson, Gary Mong. We are at the Mounds Mall Special Events.
We are.
We're live tonight, but we might not be live when you're hearing this.
That's right. Just so you know, it's at what they call the transition day.
Is that it? Tuesday?
Well, no. From 60 to 30. Isn't that called transition day?
Where was it? I was seeing it was like, it might have been Denver. It was like 69 this morning and like 9 degrees tonight or something. Maybe that was yesterday.
The polar vortex. I thought we weren't going to hear any more about that.
I didn't even hear that word. It was just that big typhoon out in the ocean blowing everything off of the North Pole.
They said it's caused
a big one.
A part of the polar vortex is breaking off and coming down to the United States.
Good for it. Maybe it's getting it out of its system.
Let's hope so. It
looks like for the next 10 days, though, it's going to be in the 30s. But that means that then
14 days.
We haven't had Indian summer
That's
yet.
right.
So when we have Indian summer, it's going to be on race day on the 30th of this month. 29th. It was the 30th last year.
That's exactly right. It had a nice one last year.
It has been a long day.
It has. It sure has.
Long and
we had a great banquet Saturday night, though, didn't we?
We did.
Great crowd, big crowd.
I'm not the one to judge banquets by,
No.
But it was a nice. It was good seeing everybody.
Yes.
I do enjoy that, and kind of getting out of my element a little bit when I'm there. But we had a good time. A lot of folks. I mean, the Shrine Club was packed. And
great food by
Chuck and Joe, Big Joe's Event Services put on a great meal, fantastic as only they can do. And the Shrine Club's a great place to have it.
It sure is.
Venue, and all of our families were there, and all of our racing family was there, and track staff. It was just a fun evening.
Our chaplain.
And Larry was there, and it's always great to have Larry at any of our events, or just to have him around. He's just a great guy.
He is. I love Larry.
But we give away quite a bit of hardware and some money and
7 divisions,
some prizes, and we had 7 divisions this year.
Yeah.
It's going back to 5 next year. It's a little more manageable. Got a little confusing in the Pro Compacts and the front-wheel drive figure 8s in that we do have it in our rules that the only driver's points we keep is for the championship, because the owner's the one that, foots the bill, and
right,
and that's the points we keep every week. And normally the owner has the same driver all year. Well, in the front-wheel drive, it just happened to be in the figure 8s and the Pro Compacts happen to be the same 2 owners and drivers, Jeff Williams and Kevin Harmon, switched back and forth enough that Elliot McKinney actually had more points in the front-wheel drive figure 8 as a driver than Jeff did, I think, in it. So Elliot won the figure 8 championship. And his car, as an owner, actually finished 3rd. Got a little confusing, but
it is.
We give a trophy to probably, and I don't even know if we've got the records to even check, probably the youngest late model champion.
I would guess you're probably right. Yes.
A sophomore in high school.
15 years old.
Jack Dawsey III. Great young man. We talked to him last week, and he challenged the guys next year. He says he's not going to let anybody take that title away from him.
He's come back to defend it, isn't he?
So
yes.
He'll be back. And, of course, his dad and his mom and his whole crew
the whole
was
crew
there.
Was there. Everybody had a good time.
And had a good time. We had Dustin Burge was there and picked up his hardware for winning the Street Stock Championships, and his owner, Jimmy Stevens. And they really had it tough there towards the end of the year.
They did.
And their equipment got pretty much used up, so they're looking for something next year, and hopefully we'll they'll find some help, and we can get Dustin back on track, because he's another one of those guys that can get about everything. It's kind of like Josh Poor and several of the others that can get in about any race car and be successful.
Didn't Dustin have the opportunity to run in a Super Series event?
He ran a Jegs car, didn't he?
I can't remember if it was Jegs or Super Series. You might be right. I think it was the Jegs, and did a good job in that.
He did, and in second place, James Kirby, who
another up and comer,
who's Jimmy Kirby's son and protege, 8th grade. that made me nervous. I said, "Are you a senior this year?" Oh, 8th grade. So he's sitting there talking to his folks and talking about he's got 4 more years of high school and he's got 8 years total of school. So already college plans for that young man.
That's good.
Another great. It's neat to be around a lot of these young,
second generations, I guess you can call it.
Yeah. And some of the second generations have already grown up.
Yes.
Right before my eyes. Kyle Allman comes up there and gets his trophy. I don't know, his 5th or 6th place in the Thunder Cars. He sold programs for us and wasn't even old enough to come out. He was like 5 years old when we bought the racetrack. So it's neat to watch these guys grow up, and they're turning into great young men. Curtis Chapman was there, and I can't even tell you how many championships he's had.
He's won a little bit of everything, hasn't he?
And was very gracious in his award acceptance speech, as far as his competition with Robbie Wyman, who that was a tough battle all through the season, and it was a tough division this year. We had some issues that probably shouldn't have happened in hindsight, but did, and when it's all said and done, to have that kind of an attitude is pretty good.
Yes.
And I commend Curtis for that, and also the Wymans, because they're great people, and
absolutely.
And we all get caught up in the heat of the moment sometimes.
It's part of the competition.
But and then our Thunder Roadsters,
John Robbins,
and I don't know how many championships that's made for him. I know it's at least 3 or 4, because he won the Legends several times. Picked up the hardware there. Ross Schuler was the Sportsman of the Year. It's good to see that. And I don't know, I haven't been to the website to check, and it's kind of hard from here because it's a little bit slow, but if they posted the awards, the special awards, the dedication awards, and the rookies and the dedication awards.
And sportsmanship.
I already said dedication twice. You have to bear with me, folks. It's been one of them days. But we'll make sure if they're not up, we'll post those so you'll know who won those awards, because those are just about as important to me as the other trophies that we passed.
Then you had the privilege to hand out 2 special awards, too.
I did.
And that was cool. Both of them.
We've talked about him several times on this show, and I imagine he's probably listening tonight. He's probably, if not one of the biggest fan of Anderson Speedway. Steve Wallace was there, and we presented him with a award recognizing all the hard work he's done in the music industry on behalf of Anderson Speedway. And he was there to accept that award, and it's great to see Steve and his family at the banquet. And then
the old veteran.
I'd only done this once before, and it's been, I think, a couple of years ago, but I presented a lifetime achievement and membership awards to Herb and Carol Rose a couple of years ago, and we got another individual that I really felt was deserving of, and this was all my doings. Nobody suggested or recommended it. I wanted to do it, and I felt nobody would have a problem with it, and nobody does. No. Bruce McFall, I give him a Lifetime Achievement Award, and he's welcome at that racetrack anytime. He's already working on his new figure 8 car, believe it or not.
Well, it's about 40 years now, did he say, for him?
40 years.
Dedicated.
He's been out the track. And I know we've had other drivers that's raced longer. I don't know if Herb was in a car actually at a race this year, and I know he was out there when we were testing in a car.
Yeah.
But Herb's been out there, I'm sure, longer than that.
I'm sure he has.
And there's been several others, but 40 years is a long time.
It sure is.
And I felt like that deserved a little bit of recognition.
And everybody, I don't know of anybody that doesn't like Bruce McFall. He's just one of those just special people out there that comes out and supports the track every week, and the crowd loves him.
I asked him about that trailer race when they had the restart. And I said, Bruce, you didn't know that you were a lap ahead of that guy when you just had one lap to go and you had that restart, did you? I said, because he said, all of a sudden I looked over and he took off, and he said, I wasn't going to lose that race. And I said, I know, but you were still ahead of him and didn't know it, and you were driving around. I just knew you were going to run over something or cut a tire or something, be over, but it worked.
It did.
And Bruce got that trophy.
Great win.
So
Great win.
Congratulations to him. We have a race coming up. It's hard to believe with this kind of weather we're getting ready to have.
This coming Saturday.
But 2 weeks from Saturday on the 29th, we have our Turkey Bash. This is the second time we've done Turkey Bash. You know, we used to do the New Year's Day race, which back when I suppose when I was younger and could handle the cold weather a little better, it seemed like a lot of fun.
It's not anymore, is it?
It doesn't sound like a lot of fun anymore, but coming this 2 weeks from Saturday on the 29th, the Turkey Bash, it's a good release from the holidays. I know everybody's going to get their belly full on Thursday, and you're going to need an outlet. Come out to Anderson Speedway. We open the pit gates at 11, or I think 11, 10:30 or 11. We open the front gates then, and then we'll start racing at 1 o'clock. And we've got, I believe, five divisions. We're going to have street stocks. We'll have Thunder Cars. We'll have front-wheel drive oval and 8, and we've also got mini cups coming down. I talked to Tim Phillips up in Michigan, and they are all fired up. Come down and race.
I bet they are now. If the snow they're getting, or come down south.
That's all coming up on at the Turkey Bash on November the 29th, and that will be the last race of the season
until 2015.
And
yes.
That schedule is starting to come. It's going slow again. It seems like it just creeps.
Just when you about have it ready, then you got little nuances that you got to fix.
It's really the most difficult thing I do, because that sets the mark for income,
right.
What people want to see. I mean, it just sets the mark, and I want to make sure that I got something out there for everybody. And
you deal with so many different sanctioning bodies too to make this all work.
And this year we had 52 different events, so It's not easy, and each one is its own separate event. Some are bigger than others, granted, but I got to coordinate that with Amy and the sponsors and coordinate. It's not just about racing; it's about the other things that go on.
It's an event
around that event. So, but it's worked. It worked extremely well this year. And next year's looking really, really good. We get a lot of positive feedback just about every day via either our Facebook page or from people calling in, or like at the banquet Saturday night, that everybody's really looking forward to 2015, more so than probably a lot of the years in the past.
And we have our faults, but we try everything that we can possibly do to make the events as enjoyable as we can for not only the competitors but for the fans as well. And the whole staff puts a lot into it each week in, week out. So, and like I said, we're not perfect, but we try.
I don't think a lot of times when we get criticism, and the criticism, especially when it's unfounded, that's the part that really gets me. It doesn't really bother me because I got broad shoulders and I don't care, and I don't do Facebook unless somebody tells me to look at something. So, and that's, some of them people on Facebook, I swear they don't have anything else to do with their life but to sit and type that. I mean, that's got to be a really boring existence. I mean, you can get some very useful information off of it, but some people just have to sit there for hours on end, by the number of posts they make. But I don't think a lot of folks realize how many people it affects when you do say something negative about the racetrack when it's unfounded. How many people have their heart and soul and work day in and day out to make this happen, and there is a financial side of this also that's very complicated and it's not as rosy as a lot of times as a lot of people think. I mean, you can see it in other racetracks. They're not open anymore.
Right.
Ours, we've been fortunate enough to stay there. I think it's because of a lot of our hard work, and we listen. We do listen. I want to hear criticism. I want to hear suggestions. That's how we make things better.
Right.
But we got people working very, very hard. We're busy now as we are during the race season, getting ready for next year. Jessica's extremely busy. Amy's busy. We did another sponsor contract today for next year.
That's great.
Getting ready to go down to the PRI show next month, where we do a lot of business.
She did her first PRI last year, didn't she? So she'll have a little bit more. Yeah, she knows what to do this year.
She told me the other day. She said, "Now I know what to do."
Yeah, but she's getting really good at what she does.
And if you haven't registered for that's the Performance Racing Industry Trade Show down in Indianapolis. It's the 11th, 12th, and 13th of December. Right. You go online. It doesn't cost you anything. You have to be affiliated with a race team. Go online and register for that. And if you don't, you can do it down there, but you got to wait in line. I don't know if they're still mailing out the credentials now or not, but at least you can get pre-registered and just pick up your credential. Yeah. And so it's well worth going, especially if you've never been there. But if you've been there before, you know what to expect. It's huge. It takes up the entire convention center in Indianapolis.
And it's they built that convention center or redone it several years ago in order to accommodate bigger conventions, and they're already busting at the seams on this one already. So
we're going to step aside and take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some other racing that's getting ready to happen, and we'll touch on what's going on at Homestead this weekend down in NASCAR land. You're listening to Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. We'll be right back.
When I was a boy, we had family pitch-in dinners on Sunday, so I knew on Saturdays Mom would be in the kitchen baking pies, and especially sugar cream pies. I will never forget pulling a chair up to the table. I always turned the chair around back so I could perch on my knees while watching Mom take her fingers and flute the pie crust. You know, that little squiggly thing all the way around. And of course, after the pies were baked, we would beg and plead with Mom, only to have her put her foot down and say, nope, we were not going to get any pie until everybody came by tomorrow. But on Sunday at the family gathering, that first bite of pie was always worth the wait. Mom's a little older now, but that doesn't mean we can't enjoy freshly made sugar cream pies together. Now, instead of Mom making them, I pick up a Wix sugar cream pie. They use simple, fresh ingredients because of Wix rigid freshness standards. The wholesomeness and taste of their pies is better than Mom's. But don't tell her I said that. Now you can pick up a Wix sugar cream pie at most of your local grocery stores. Just look for them in the frozen dessert aisle. I'm Brownie, and I can honestly say about Wix pies, you don't just eat them, you enjoy them.
Heart attack? Stroke? Serious injury. A sudden health crisis can happen to anyone, at any time. So when bad things happen, choose good people. St. Vincent Anderson Regional Hospital has the area's most advanced emergency care, with a state-designated Level 3 trauma center, an internationally accredited chest pain center for heart attack patients, and advanced certification for primary stroke care. We have all the resources to deliver the care you need for any serious or life-threatening emergency. St. Vincent Anderson Regional is the only emergency department in the area with an on-site helicopter. And our $27 million state-of-the-art surgery pavilion opens later this year. Bad things can happen to anyone. Thankfully, good people are ready to help. Choose emergency care from St. Vincent Anderson Regional, the spirit of caring. Visit stvincent.org/Anderson Regional to learn more.
Honey, stop! Oh my gosh, that's Diggity's back there.
You mean the new Diggity's Frozen Treat Factory?
I heard it's unbelievable. Everybody's talking about it. They have everything yummy.
Yeah, I heard they have ice cream, yogurt, custard, sorbet.
And gelato, plus fruit smoothies, and that's just the beginning.
I heard Diggity's has over 250 toppings, not 30 or 40 like those other places, and you can even get the candy to go separately.
We can eat outside on their huge patio by the fire, too.
Okay, let's see. Frozen yogurt, ice cream, custard, sorbet, and gelato with 250 toppings, or a plain old frozen yogurt shop with limited toppings?
Diggity's it is!
Diggity's wants to cater your event. Diggity's can set up at your event inside or out and provide delicious smoothies, frozen cappuccinos, candies, and frozen treats to your guests. Diggity's is perfect for weddings, company picnics, group outings, sporting events, festivals, you name it, just call Diggity's. 765-393-0033 today for more information.
MoFab Incorporated, where imagination is the only limitation. We serve residential, commercial, industrial, and municipal customers as your metals warehouse and fabrication center. We do all types of fabrication using the latest technology with unmatched speed, accuracy, and durability on any substrate. Our ornamental division handles all types of interior and exterior work, including rails, fences, gates, and more. So contact us at mofabbing.com to fabricate your dreams of tomorrow today.
This program is a presentation by Anderson Speedway. The content contained in this program is that of the host and guests, and not this station.
How did you... He told you ahead of time.
Man-eater. That's Hall & Oates, Gary.
I know, but you said before the first beat.
The first two notes, that thump. That's Hall & Oates.
There's a lot of songs there with a thump.
Not like that. Welcome back to Track Talk. Rick Dawson, Gary Mong. We're at the Mounds Mall Special Event
I don't think
Studio.
the first thump even happened, and you guess. I think he's telling you before I get here.
Aunt Jenny, I think he needs a whooping.
Aunt Jenny, help me.
Hello to Aunt Jenny over
Hello
in
to
Muncie.
That's right.
And to Louie and Libby at home, along with Brenda and Lauren and Dan, who I forgot to mention last week.
Oh, you better not be doing that. You got to start getting used to that, yes.
Yeah. The wedding you just reminded me is 4 weeks from Saturday. That'll be big.
Yes.
A couple of things I wanted to let you know about. You can now contact the Speedway and buy your 2015 advanced purchase tickets.
Yeah.
Same package as we had last year.
Great price.
Same price. They did not go up. So you can watch 20 events for $140. That's only $7 a show. Or you can buy 10 tickets for $80 and still see them for $8. So that's a heck of a bargain.
It is.
And you want to be sure and get those. They make great stocking stuffers. And get yourself one, too. Those were very popular last year. And just about every ticket was used. I was tickled to death
That's
about
great.
that.
That is great. That's
And
great.
what else were we going? Oh, yes, this Saturday.
Yes.
And all of our competitors have been invited, and I think Denny did at the banquet, and I'll do it again. If you want to, the Knights of Pythias All-American Christmas Parade is this Saturday over in Newcastle. 4 o'clock is the parade start. They line up at 3 o'clock at Baker Park. Any of our drivers or competitors that like to bring their race cars over and be in that parade, they do have awards. But it's really a neat parade. It's going to be Christmassy weather. It's going to be cool. So, but there'll still be a ton of people out on the sidelines.
People love it.
It's a fun time. We go over and we help Denny organize it. And we just have a great time over at Newcastle. So if you need more information on that, you can call me at the racetrack or email me or call Denny Adams, the voice of the Anderson Speedway, and he will be happy and look forward to having you as a part of that parade.
Yes. We'll be happy to see you, too.
Got a couple other races getting ready to come up. And the 23rd, which will be a week from this Sunday, is the Governor's Cup 200 down at New Smyrna Speedway. A lot of drivers from the north are going down. I see Brian Campbell's going down, racing with CRA. Eric Jones has won that race before. A lot of drivers from Michigan have won that race. So that's on the 23rd in New Smyrna Speedway. And it's a fun half-mile track to watch racing on. And then the first week in December is the annual Snowball Derby, and you can go to that website and just look at the who's in late models. Tim Bryant puts on one heck of a show down there. I've never been able to go, and unfortunately this year I'm not because of the wedding. But someday I'm going to get down there, and I actually was emailing back and forth with Tim the other day, and he puts on a great event by what everyone's told me. I mean, the whole town of Pensacola is pretty much wrapped up, kind of like the Anderson is with the little 500.
Yes.
This is the little 500 for late model racing. So if you're not been and you got a couple of days, it's like a 12-hour drive down to Pensacola. Go down and watch the Snowflake and the Snowball Derby.
They're a lot of fun, a lot of cars, and it's a great track to watch racing on.
So did you watch the race at Phoenix Sunday?
I did. And as I told you, I was happy with the result.
You were?
We have an Indiana boy in the running, which is Ryan Newman. He did it on the last turn of the last lap.
And I didn't read the story, but there was an article on Yahoo today where they'd interviewed Kyle Larson's, and I didn't read it by all the posts that came after it was, now there's a real racer. I think probably what Kyle said was he'd have done the same thing, didn't hurt him. It's congratulations. Right. I'm pretty sure that Ryan didn't get a thank you card from Jeff Gordon.
No, probably not.
That whole, I don't.
It's different this year.
It's different.
It's kind of made it exciting, though.
It has, but it's not. I'm sorry. You win the race, you're the champion, and to win a race, and you have to win a race to get in. doesn't make sense, and that's the way Harvick done it. If Harvick hadn't won that race, he wouldn't have been in it. So
right.
I mean,
but it's also based on the points.
I guess.
Yeah, it's based on the points too. And Jeff lost by 1 point.
I'm just confused by the whole thing.
But the 4 that's running it's never won a championship, so they're going to crown a new one.
Well, here's the other deal: what team owner's not there? And I'd have missed this bet a mile.
Wow, you're right.
Hendrick doesn't have a car in the championship.
Let's see. You got Stuart Haas.
Mm-hmm.
You got Joe Gibbs, and you've got Ryan's for Childress.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got
there's one more too. Logano's Gibbs.
Oh, Penske.
Penske, who's
isn't that who Logano raced for? The Penske.
Oh, that's right. He was with Gibbs.
Yes. So you got Gibbs, Penske, Childress, and Stewart.
Yeah, and Hamlin. Any one of those cars can win. I don't think, other than maybe Harvick might get a little rough. I mean, you say that, and then Ryan did what he did. So, when you're going for that much money and that much prestige, I mean, I think you just let her all hang out and go. But
I think it's the build-up that NASCAR wanted. You're going to have 4 guys, and whoever places the highest, those 4 guys wins the championship.
Well, it worked, and I give credit where credit's due. I think I heard him say Sunday that Homestead sold out, which is good.
Yes.
And the TV ratings are probably going to be good for this too. So maybe it's okay.
You'll just have to see.
Sometimes they do stuff well, and they deserve credit.
That's
for
right.
it. I still think that they let it. They're just setting themselves up for disaster. They keep letting this stuff happen.
I don't know what repercussions came from that or what penalties.
The person that perpetrated it, it's almost like they thanked him for doing it. I don't know. I just hope that it doesn't happen on the racetrack,
right,
or around the vehicles that are running. That's the only thing I care about. All this other stuff, they can do it and whatever. WWE became a big organization because of that kind of stuff.
But if you think about
it, and I enjoyed wrestling, as you well know.
But if you think about it, how did NASCAR really get its big boost? It was from that Daytona race with
Allison,
Cale Yarborough, and then fighting down at the infield, and that's how the boom started.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're trying to resurrect that or not. They're kind of on the right track for that after the last 2 or 3 weekends.
That's not. But we try to teach our kids
exactly.
That's not the way you settle
You're
your
exactly
differences.
Right. But I'm saying it's almost like it's come full circle again.
These guys don't realize that they were, and if they don't quit, they're going to lose it. But they are role models,
yes,
and I would like for them to be role models.
Yes.
And we got some good young kids coming up that I think will be great ones. Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Eric Jones, who just announced that he's got a full truck ride for next year,
fantastic.
and several nationwide races.
And we need to congratulate Chase Elliott for winning the nationwide championship.
Chase Elliott,
yes,
he won like 10 or 12 CRA's Super Series races and raced at Anderson Speedway several times.
Almost won the Redbud 300 on the last lap.
He's going to have to come back and do it. It's
yes,
going to have
to
be on his bucket
Steve
list.
Steve Dorr got him on the last lap.
What a great kid and
yes,
a great family. Chase Elliott is the Nationwide Series champion, and I don't have to say it. That kid's going places.
Yes, he sure is.
And it's on his own doing too. That wasn't by his. I mean, his dad was there helping him and coaching him, and you couldn't have a better coach. But he did that on his own.
Right.
I know that for a fact.
And another one coming up, like you said, Eric Jones.
Eric Jones.
Thanks for him.
Eric Jones is a great young man too.
Yes.
So he's going places. So it gives you goose pimples to know that you had a little bit of part in. And got to meet them in their early time. But I want to remind you, don't forget those ticket packages that are on sale. They'll be on sale now through the end of Christmas. And also the Turkey Bash coming up on November the 29th, where we'll have street stocks, Thunder Cars, front-wheel drive ovals, front-wheel drive 8s, and mini cups. That's all on the 29th on Saturday, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, where the weather is going to be a lot warmer.
It will.
We appreciate you taking the time with us this evening. We look forward to doing this same thing, same times next week, same channels. Thanks for listening, and have a great week, and stay warm.